My name is Ihab and this is the project Invoice Scrapping, project number 2 of Nanodegree program. This is an attendant bot to scrap the invoices from the Gmail account and scrap the data from these invoices and send it to the queue and then send the Excel sheet to the email. I have the workflow here. First of all, I am read and download the files from the email, retrieve the attachment and download these attachments from email, and I am getting an in pool attachment. If attachment count downloaded it's bigger than 0, so the process will be completed. If not, I will end the bot by sending a mail notification. Now I will go through the process, each example file or workflow one by one. This is the first one, read and download. The precondition here is Gmail is connected to uipath and has the required authentications. The path where attachments PDF invoices will be downloaded exists or not, so create it. The post condition, at least one file downloaded to complete the process. Here is the precondition, file exists or created. This is a file folder, this is the folder name. If it doesn't exist, I will create the folder. And then I am constructing an out argument of the path attachment to the folder name. And now I am using Gmail account, connect to the Gmail and retrieve emails. This is my email and I am here using for each email, for each current email, the inbox folder. I am retrieving first 50 emails, retrieve attachments with attachments only, and then I have a switch case here. If the mail subject is techno computers and I am replace the space with non-space and getting it to lower with trim method. So if it contains the subject techno computers, if this is true, I will go to save the attachment to the out path attachment folder which created and the precondition above, and I'm counting here how many attachment downloaded just for info and to log this as info. And here I'm log message attachment downloaded for email and I'm writing here the subject mail. If the condition is false and the mail subject doesn't contain techno computers, I am continuing to next email until finish retrieving these 50 mails. The post condition here, after I am counting here when I downloaded and saved the attachment, I am counting how many file downloaded. So the post condition would be the post condition here, how many file downloaded. If it's bigger than 0, so I have a log message here, both downloaded emails, and I am getting here how many emails downloaded with this integer counter, and then I am assigning a boolean out boolean attachment as true. If doesn't, I will throw an exception here. The exception is no attachment downloaded. I have here rethrow for the exception. This is the first workflow, read and download. Okay, now I am getting this, I'm using this boolean. If it's true, I will complete the process. If it's not true and there is no attachment downloaded, I am ending the bot by send an email notification by using the Gmail and send an email notification, the invoice scrapping task not completed. If it's true and there is some files or some attachment invoices downloaded, I am completing the process here. I have a precondition here at the beginning which check the in path where file downloaded contains at least one attachment to complete the process. So I'm assigning here an array of attachment with the path folder which created in the first workflow, and I'm counting this array of files, how many array of files contains. If it's bigger than 0, then the process will be completed normally. If it doesn't, it will throw an exception. Now I'm using for each attachment in this array, and here is all the process for the attachment for the invoice. What I'm doing here, I'm scraping the PDF and write Excel file. I'm adding the info to the queue. I'm sending the Excel to the mail. So for first attachment downloaded in this array of attachment, I'm reading the PDF as a text file. I'm getting it as a string PDF text, and I have an invoke workflow here for scrapping the PDF. This is the first one in the loop, scrap PDF, and then I am using the orchestrator queue and sending email. Scrap PDF. The precondition here is PDF text string is not empty, and the post condition is Excel file successfully written. I'm checking first that the PDF is not empty. This argument which I got from reading the Excel file. If it's not empty, so I will complete the process. If it's empty, I will throw an exception. If it's not empty, I'm building a data table here for the item name, item number, description, quantity, and price. I'm using here a multiple assign to get this data as from using the regular expression. I'm getting the invoice number, and then I'm getting invoice date, then I'm getting out subtotal, out GST, and out total. And now I'm using the match collection to get the items, the raw items, to get the tables in a match collection using this regular expression. After that, I'm looping through this mass collection. I'm assigning here an item details to split it to an array, so I can split it, so I can loop through the item description here. I'm getting a counter here. This should be this table, and I have used the regular expression to get these lines, this table, as a match collection using the regular expression. So I have an array. I'm converting it to an array. So I have array 0, 1, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So I have to get the ID. I'm using the array element 0 to get this one last element. I'm getting this one minus 1, minus 2, minus 3, and I'm constructing this item description by using a do while loop. I'm assigning an counter here with 1, so I can skip directly the first element and go to this description, the item description directly, and I'm constructing this one until I get to this item of array and stop the loop. So this is a loop for this array, and the array contains many elements. I'm skipping this one by starting the counter with 1, the integer counter here with 1, and then I'm looping through this one and constructing it as an item description until I get to this index and stop the loop. So this one I'm constructing it using the array item details with integer counter, and I'm stopping the loop when I finish the item description. Then I have a multiple assign here to get the item ID, the item quantity, the item price from the array, and then I'm getting the item total using the array. Now I'm adding to the data table which I constructed before. I'm adding this info to the output invoice, and I am now empty the item description, so the next iteration when I loop through the item description will be no problem. Then I'm adding the subtotal and out total, GST and total. To create folder in the first iteration only where Excel file will be written. So I have scrapped the info, I have built the data table, I wrote all the required data on the data table. Now I am creating a folder where this is in first iteration only. I'm creating the folder for the invoice as an Excel. So I create the folder invoice as Excel, and then I'm constructing here the out file name, which will be used in other workflows by writing the file name which I created and getting the path, the in attachment, and splitting it with 0, and write the string number which I get from the assign. So this is the file name, the file Excel name, and then I'm writing this file I'm writing this data to this file path. After that, I'm going to the orchestrator queue. The precondition here is the info are not empty. The info which I have to upload to the orchestrator is not empty, or not null or empty, and the post condition here is the info is uploaded to the queue. The add to queue activity is succeeded. Now a precondition here, I have here this condition, string dot is null or empty, subtotal GST and total. These items are not empty, so if these items as one of them is empty, I will throw an exception. If not, I will complete the process. Now I'm assigning here a dictionary, string of string and object, key string and values object. I'm adding the info subtotal, GST and total to the dictionary, and then I'm adding this info to the queue. Here is the item collection, and here is the invoice information, the queue name. The post condition here is this activity is already succeeded, and this not throw any exceptions, so the post condition here is successfully added to the queue. Now I am sending mail with the sheet Excel, and I have the argument in file name which contains the path of the Excel file which I constructed in last workflow. I'm using here send email, and I have here a precondition, the invoice Excel file is not empty, and the post condition, the mail activity sent successful. I am reading here the invoice Excel sheet, and I'm checking if it's not empty. So if it's counter bigger than 0, I will complete the process. If it's empty, I will throw an exception. The post condition here is to send the mail with the name, with the subject line as per instructions, and here is the body mail. I am attaching here the file name, the sheet Excel. So this is all the process. I have a refresh here. This is the example files, and the files where the attachment not created yet, and the files for the Excel, the folder for attachment and the folder for Excel files not created yet. Now I'm go to the orchestrator, refresh it. I'm confirming now the orchestrator queue is empty, and I have here the Gmail which contains the mails which will be retrieved and processed. I have here 4 emails, Techno Computers, and all of them contains the attachment. I will start now by running the process. It should now create the folder email attachment and save all the attachments, invoice attachment in this folder, and then scrap the data, create Excel file, send to the queue, and send the Excel files to the email. I'm waiting the execution to start now. The execution is started. Folder is downloaded, folder is created, and the attachment is downloaded in this folder. Start processing 4 attachments. Start with the first invoice. The email is sent as well, sent to the queue. The Excel file is sent and sent to the queue. Now the process is finished. We will have a check now, first by checking our Excel path. Here is the email attachment which downloaded from the email, from the Gmail, and here is the invoice as Excel which written here, and now we can see the orchestrator and the Gmail. We refresh it. I have 4 mails now. We'll check each one. We'll go through each of one of them. Here is the name as per instruction, and the file, the Excel file. This is for Jane Doe. This is the second one, and here is the name of the customer with the invoice number, and here is the subject line, and here is the sheet Excel. The third mail, third invoice, and the fourth one. With the name as per instruction, and everything is correct. Now this is the orchestrator. We will go to the queue, to the orchestrator here, and to view the transaction. And here I have 4 transactions for all the invoices. Can check the details here. I have the subtotal, GST, and total. This one, details, successfully uploaded, successfully added to the queue. The project path, and here is the invoices which sent to the email. And here is my output panel which contains all the info. Here is one example of the Excel files, and everything written correctly as per instructions. So that's all. Thank you.